It is the day we have all been waiting for. It's Jack Eichel Day. We're going to talk all about what his return means for the NHL, for him, for the Vegas Golden Knights, all of that and more because little birdie told me that Calgary did a thing. We're going to talk all about that today on Locked On NHL.
You're Locked On NHL, your daily podcast on the National Hockey League. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everyone, you're listening to Locked On NHL, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, and thank you for making today's show your first listen of the day, every day, available free wherever you get your favorite podcasts and also your favorite YouTubes, so you never miss a single moment. My name is Sarah Avampato, host of this show, host of Locked On Kings. We're going to be looking at the Western Conference as usual, and as usual, I am joined by Jess Belmosto, host of Locked On Calgary Flames, to take us through what's happening in the Western Conference. And of course, the big news, Jack Eichel is going to play this season. We're probably going to spend most of the show today talking about our good buddy Jack. So let's get the quicker one out of the way first. The Calgary Flames traded for my boy, Tyler Toffoli, from the Montreal Canadiens, reuniting him with Daryl Sutter, Milan Lucic, why did I forget his name? Trevor Lewis. I can't believe I forgot Trevor Lewis's name. Brad Richardson. I think they played on the team at the same time, I think. Lots of ex-Kings in that Calgary lineup and world. And you got him. So what's up with what is Calgary legit? Is this where we're going? Are they legit?
I'm starting to think so, and that worries me for a few reasons, because the expectations are higher and there's more emotions involved now. And right off the bat yesterday, Greg Wyshynski, I'm saying Greg or Gary, I don't know. I mix them up all the time. He was like, Toffoli signed through 2024. Does this mean Johnny Gaudreau is going stateside? Shut up. Go back to not paying attention to this team. Please. I regret everything I said about wanting this team to be on a bigger stage. Like at that moment, I knew we were done for. But I'm very happy for the Flames. I think this is an awesome addition. You know, any team would be lucky to have a guy like Tyler Toffoli, but especially a team that is trying to make that playoff push. And, you know, you kind of see what he did for Montreal last spring, but it was more the summer, I think. Whatever, last playoffs. And, you know, helping the underdogs get to the Stanley Cup finals. Ultimately, they lost, but like, no one.
It was fun while it happened.
Yeah, like it was so lopsided, so it's fine. But, you know, I think that the Flames just made themselves legit. I've had a few people text me and say, hey, so I wasn't in on the Flames before, like even with your propaganda on Twitter, but now I'm really buying into it. And I was like, thanks. This is all part of the plan. There's still time to jump on the bandwagon, but I don't even know what to say. I was speechless. I was trying to make soup when the trade was announced. I was like, oh my God.
Right. Soup's got to wait.
Yep. I was like, I got to put the knife down. Can't accidentally chop off my finger. Got to breathe.
Do you think that they're done? Are there other kind of holes in that lineup that are going to need addressed? Or is this their big splash?
I think that this is it. Unless they can move a bigger contract like Sean Monahan. You know, they gave up next to nothing for Toffoli. And I was shocked that, because as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, Dylan Dubé is gone. And it's not his fault that he's kind of reached his ceiling in Calgary, but I do think that, you know, the team moving on from him, it's kind of just like unspoken that it would be beneficial for all parties involved. But I don't know. You know, their defense has really gotten it together. Their goaltending is fine. I don't know how Markstrom does it, but he's finally getting a night off. So I think that this might be it. maybe they go in for a defenseman, but I don't see that being number one now that they've gotten their power forward.
Yeah, I did. I took a look at the standings earlier, and if we're just sorting it by points, not points percentage, we can have an argument about that later. If you just sort it by points, right now Calgary's number 2 in the Pacific. The Kings are number 3 in the Pacific. I joked with a friend whenever this trade happened that this is just the universe setting us up for a Calgary Kings matchup in the playoffs. Daryl Sutter versus his old team, Toffoli, Lucic, Lewis, Richardson, like all against their old team. I don't know that I am like a strong enough person emotionally to handle that, but it really feels like that's what the universe is trying to drive us towards. And I promise I'll still be your friend if that happens.
I was going to say, this might get like awkward. I don't want to be like, yeah, the Flames are so much better, or suck it, Kings. Like, no, I like the Kings. They're a good team. Like, they're babies, but like, I think, I can appreciate them. Yeah. But it gives us good content. So again, that's truly what I'm here for.
Yeah. And like it feels, I mean, like you were saying about, oh no, I don't want people paying attention to this team. Like I very much have the same feelings about the Kings of, they went on a hot streak, like they're in a playoff position. No one thought they'd be there. Yeah. Now people are starting to watch them and talk about them. And like, there's like, Kings reporters showing up on like TSN radio to talk about I'm like, no, do pay no attention to like the team behind the curtain. Just let us exist. If we're good, cool, fun, you'll find out in the playoffs, but please just like, don't
like, I'm going to
not perceive me. Right.
I'm going back to girl bossing. Girl boss, gatekeep, and I forget what the other one is.
Right. Like just stay away. We don't need this.
The gate was open for like a week and now it's shut. Please.
Right.
No. Right. And that's kind of how I feel about the Wild. Because like they never got or really get that national attention. So I never know if they're good or bad until I watch a game or till we have to talk about them on here. And I'm like,
right.
What do you mean? And it's truly, if it's not the Maple Leafs, no one cares. So yeah, that's why we're here to provide you this coverage.
To make sure that you care about other things. We're going to talk about Jack Eichel next, but before we do that, my question for you is, if someone wants to jump on the Flames bandwagon, this is their last chance before you girl boss gatekeep them out. Yep. What is your pitch to fans out there who are like, Calgary, legit? ? Should I care?
Ooh, yes, you should care, and you should jump on this bandwagon because, number one, they all have, like, super cute dogs. Elias Lindholm has 2 Boston Terriers, but this is just a fun team to watch. If you liked rooting for the Montreal Canadiens last year because they had that underdog vibe to it, and they truly were the underdogs, you're going to love this team. You're going to walk away with an Andrew Mangiapane jersey. I only say him because I don't know if Gaudreau and Tkachuk are re-signing. But, you're going to walk out of here a happy camper, and why wouldn't you want to root for a team with, like, the sickest jersey in the league?
I think that's a good selling point. I hope you guys take very good care of my favorite member of the Toffoli family, Dodger, this little dog that's about this big.
He's so cute.
It's the cutest dog. And I think that's really the most important part of this trade is that you guys get not only Tyler, not only his awesome wife, Kat, but their dog, Dodger. I think that you've got the whole package there. We're going to talk about Jack Eichel next. I don't think he has a cute dog, so get on that, Jack. But before we do that, I believe you have some snacks to tell me about.
I do. Built Bars are a delicious tasting protein bar. And if you like candy bars, then you're going to want a Built Bar in your life. If you are trying to lose weight, maintain weight, or just like to snack and want to be filled up, Built Bar is the way to go. They are low in calories, low in carbs, high in protein, high in fiber. But have you tried the Puffs? If you haven't, you're missing out. Built Bars are they have just such a wide variety of products on their website, but the Puffs are some of my favorite. They are the first ever protein-infused marshmallow. Yes, you heard that right. Marshmallow. They're fluffy, marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar. They're a great treat covered in 100% chocolate. If, they're a great fan. Wow, can't talk. Puffs are a great fan favorite with some incredible flavors. They have some cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, banana cream pie. Just so good. And you can get them at built.com and use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off of your order.
All right. We have been waiting for this day ever since Jack Eichel first got traded to Vegas. It is your favorite day, my favorite day. Jack Eichel returns to playing in the NHL day. He has been cleared to play. He is playing in the game tonight, Wednesday night, against the Colorado Avalanche at T-Mobile Arena. So making his Vegas Golden Knights appearance debut at home. Hasn't played an NHL game since March 7th, 2021 for the Sabres. So just short of a year of not playing hockey, and he is ready to come back. And the biggest thing is all of our rampant speculation about who's getting traded, who's getting waived, who's going to get disappeared didn't happen, because instead they realized all of their players were hurt and put them all on long-term injury reserve.
Just like conveniently. Just like I knew when Mark Stone was scratched against Calgary last week, I knew what was coming. I felt it in my heart. I was like, they're saying this is a back injury. What did you sleep funny? Did you like throw your back out? I don't know, moving something, like, or are you fine? And yesterday, or Monday rather, in the press conference, Vegas was like, yeah, no, we don't have like a confirmed diagnosis. So there's no like imaging done? You're just going to say, yeah, he's going to be out for a long time. I told you guys to put your tinfoil hats on and to be ready. And not to sound like Alex Jones, but like, I told you so. I told you so that they were going to pull some cap circumvention, Tampa Bay Lightning-esque nonsense. And I guarantee you Mark Stone will be back for the playoffs. And if not, then I'm so sorry. Please don't hold me accountable. This is all a joke.
Right.
I don't have a lawyer.
And like, it's so, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like I say this at work all the time. I work with a lot of people who, see the puzzle pieces, and then they're like, haha, conspiracy. And I'm like, okay, what is more likely, that everyone and their mom is in on this conspiracy, but somehow has not managed to say something about it, or that it's not actually a conspiracy and it is the two of us can keep a secret if one of us is dead, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like the idea of like, oh, this all like it's fake, it's whatever, is like, it's funny, but like legit. I mean, Mark Stone doesn't want to be out. Like he has been in and out all of this season. There was a game he played against the Kings, which was, I think it was the first game of the season, where he was like visibly unable to move, like visibly in pain. And then after that, he went out. I feel like he's hardly played this year. He's that team's best player. So like it's convenient, like no lie, like no wonder everyone is, I feel like between this, Tampa Bay last year, a couple years ago, Chicago did the same thing with Patrick Kane, who broke his collarbone and then like happened to be healed in time for the playoffs. Like it totally lends itself to like conspiracy theory stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like if it like, someone would know. Elliot Friedman would be on his little 32 list thingy being like, sources indicate that, and
I mean, unless Vegas is writing him a nice check to stay quiet. I'm just saying.
The conspiracy theory deepens. Yeah, and it's for a league that is so weird about player health and everything. Like, I know we have Shea Weber in Montreal, who basically is never going to play again, and he has to like, I know there's like regular medical check-ins essentially that they have to do to prove he still can't play.
Right.
So the league, for as poorly as they handle player health, I think, does take this seriously. I know, for example, with Marian Hossa and like the skin condition that he had that kind of kept him from playing, the league was all over that and looking at it to make sure like, no, Chicago wasn't just trying to, not pay him. And it's the same thing. Like Marian Hossa would rather be playing, like
Right.
him and Mark Stone are kind of the same type of player of they'd much rather be out there. Like, didn't ask for that. But yeah, it's so easy, especially because it's Vegas and the subtitle of our show is finding ways to dunk on Vegas.
Exactly.
It's so easy to be like, right, sure. But I feel like at the end of the day, there was a tweet. I think it was someone who wrote for The Athletic, I think, that basically was like, listen, if you're not doing this with your cap, like you're doing something wrong.
Right.
Like right now, that's what the rules are.
Right. And I feel like this next CBA or something, someone's going to come in and say, this
needs to change.
Especially like, I don't want this to happen, but like if Vegas wins the cup this year and Mark Stone's back.
Yeah.
Like people are just going to be like, they did that. So they.
Right. And then we have to hear it all over again.
Right. And just literally replace every tweet that we had last year with Vegas and Mark Stone instead of, was it Kucherov?
Yeah, Kucherov.
And Tampa Bay. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, we get it. It's shady, but it's legal.
Right. That's how you made the rules.
Exactly. It's a business.
Well, yeah. So we'll take a closing look at some more Vegas shenanigans coming up next. But first, want to make sure that you know that we're very thankful for you for making this show your first listen of the day every day. For more hockey news, make sure you're checking out our Olympic Hockey Daily Show presented right here on Locked On NHL. It's a bonus podcast covering all of the action in Beijing. You can find it right here on this podcast feed. So covering the women's tournament, which is coming down to, again, a terrifying game between the United States and Canada that I'm going to have to watch like this. We've got on the men's side, the U.S. is actually looking really, really good, which is weird. You can hear about all that stuff on our special Olympic Hockey Daily Show here on Locked On NHL. Also, you should know about BetOnline. Football is, of course, over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where to find the next fired coach is going to land, betonline.net is the number one spot for all of your sports betting needs. Sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And of course, it isn't just basketball. BetOnline.net is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds right on down to Olympic coverage and information. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action all there on BetOnline. It is where the game starts. Also, if you've got a car, this is your chance to go and get parts for your car at a much lower price, a much less, frustrating experience than going to the store and having them tell you, oh, that part's not even in stock. You can go to rockauto.com. Of course, there are a billion different kinds of cars and makes and models, and no local store is going to have all the parts that you could possibly need in stock. So why bother with all of that stuff when you can just go to your little computer, your little hand pocket computer even, go to rockauto.com and check it out. You can save money. You can save time. Prices are reliably low no matter who you are. If you're professional, you're a do-it-yourselfer, or if you're just me and wildly overconfident, sometimes you can go to rockauto.com and get parts for your car. So go to rockauto.com right now. See all the parts available for your car or your truck, right? Locked on in the How Did You Hear About Us box so that they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. Do you want to know one thing you can't get on rockauto.com?
Yes.
Goalies.
Why would that be, Sarah?
Well, because they only sell car parts. But one team happens to be in need of a goalie, most likely, and that's the Vegas Golden Knights, because surprise, Robin Lehner is injured. And Laurent Brossoit, their backup, is fine. But if Vegas has aspirations of getting Jack Eichel, A, to the playoffs, B, out of the first round of the playoffs, they might want some backup.
Yeah.
And so there's already been a report. It's already been debunked by Mr. 32 Thoughts himself. Elliot Friedman has already said, Kelly McCrimmon from Vegas has said this isn't true. But I think it's hilarious that the rumor went around saying, could Vegas reacquire Marc Andre Fleury?
As a player, can you just be like, absolutely no? Like, this is, like, why would you even entertain this? Like, you see it, like, I don't know, I think it's a 702 area code. Like,
You're
pop up on your phone. Like, no, do not, like, are you insane? I think that's hysterical. This is what I like to call karma for doing one of the most genuine human beings so dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. We do dunk on Vegas a lot, and it's like you said, it's easy to do, but this is one of those situations that I feel like everyone is just kind of like, wow.
Right. Like,
let's pretend to be shocked.
Right. Like, you reaped what you sowed here. Right. Obviously, apparently this trade isn't actually real. It's not going to happen. But I do think it would have been hilarious. Chicago got him for basically nothing. Vegas didn't hold any, retain any cap space. Chicago sent like a random dude the other way who isn't even playing in North America anymore. Like, they let him go. I think it would be really funny if Chicago would have been able to like extort Vegas for a whole lot for a guy that they had already had. Like, that would have been amazing.
Like, not that I want to see Chicago do anything good, but if they were able to somehow grab, like, just like extort them, like you said, I think that would be incredible because Vegas got fleeced in that trade, but I also think that they were just trying to unload the cap space, and they messed around and now they're finding out. So
right. Yeah. And it's like, sure, like Fleury doesn't have a, no move clause, or like he doesn't have any of that in his contract, which is how Chicago got him in the first place. But it's like, he is a player, there's certain players in this league that are respected enough that like front office guys go to them first and say, again, like, not that Chicago is an example of anything, but Duncan Keith, for example, when they traded him to Edmonton, they sat down and made sure it was going to work for him. I think he had some move protection in his contract, but like, it was a conversation. It wasn't just like, okay, bud, here you go.
It wasn't, hey, you're finding out through your Twitter notification.
Yeah. And so it's like, you would hope that they would at least have a conversation with Fleury before, shipping him back to Vegas, if that were real. I know the other one that keeps going around is that Washington has asked about him, and that Fleury has basically said no, because it would be too weird, being a Penguin for so long and then being a Capital, and that he has been the one to be like, no, please don't do that to me, which is also really funny, and I hope that is true too. Like, please don't tell me it isn't.
Right? Like, let us live in that fantasy.
Right,
I think that's even funnier because of how long he was a Penguin.
Yes.
And just like,
right, still like the bitterness. Yeah, like, imagine if he, like, I mean, the Flyers aren't good, so he'd never go to the Flyers. But imagine if they were, and they were like, do you think we could get Fleury? Like,
no.
It's weird. Like, it's weird enough seeing Jeff Carter, like, longtime Philadelphia Flyer, even though he had all those years on the Kings. Still weird seeing him in a Pittsburgh jersey. But yeah, Fleury in Capitals red, like, weird.
It's like that weird combination of, like, when people are like, oh, here, what's a weird food combination that you like? And I don't know, like, something just so
like absurd. Jelly and macaroni and cheese.
Yes, exactly. Like, they just do not go together. They never in a million years, but I think to try it, be willing to try it. Like, there's no part of me that says, huh,
right, like, maybe
I could use a goaltender. No. It's as if, like, well, this was actually really funny. I completely forgot about this. But Edmonton had offered Jacob Markstrom like more money. And he said, absolutely not. And he signed with Calgary. He's like,
beautiful. That's
like,
beautiful.
I call goalies crazy all the time because, they have a reputation, but
that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Man. He's fantastic.
Yeah. Look at how much better his life is now.
Exactly. And I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, not that, I don't know. Like, obviously, Vegas did Fleury filthy. Like, there's no way to describe it. But for him to finish his career out as a Blackhawk and to just sign a one-day contract with Pittsburgh, call it a day.
Yeah.
Live a happy life with his family and hopefully, like, not have to worry about relocating.
Right.
I think he has, like, 2 or 3 young kids. And moving just myself was enough. I don't even want to think about packing up other humans' belongings.
No, it's terrible.
But I want his career to end on his his.
Yes.
And for him to avoid any more ridiculous storylines and narratives because he doesn't deserve that. He's a good guy.
Right. Maybe like, I don't know, Colorado or like some team will pick him up and like, I don't even care if he plays. I just want him to like, have a nice maybe last season.
Exactly.
Enjoy himself.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's coming next. Right. I don't know. I don't know if he knows.
Right. No.
But good luck to him. I think once it's kind of in your mind when you start thinking about retiring, I feel like you're kind of like checking out.
Yeah.
So who knows? I don't know anything, but good luck.
Yeah. Just don't go to Vegas.
Please don't. And I'm sure did his family stay there?
I think they might have, like, just because of school and everything. Yeah. I don't think they're in Chicago. Which honestly, as someone who lives in Chicago, I don't blame them. It's so cold here. If I could stay the whole year in a place that it's not like 20 degrees outside right now and like everything outside is frozen, like the walkway from my building to my car is just ice, like I would avoid that if I could. So like I hope that they are avoiding that.
Right. I hope that they get to just, live a nice life somewhere warm right now. And, if they only get, this sounds really bad, at least they're warm when Dad visits when he can. I don't know.
Exactly.
This time exists. It's not like the ancient times anymore where you just had payphones. But, good luck. I'd like to see him go to a contender.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty neat.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to trade deadline. Like we've talked about at the top of the show, Calgary already kicked things off. And so I feel like teams are going to start scrambling to make trades and make moves before they get priced out of the market. So, of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on all of that stuff and whatever else cool happens in the Western Conference here on Locked on NHL. That's all we've got for you today. Yes.
I'm just interrupting.
Yes.
I know this isn't Western Conference, but we were just talking about the Penguins and Sidney Crosby just scored his 500th goal.
Oh.
So congratulations.
Good job. Are they playing Philadelphia?
Probably.
That makes it even funnier. Well, good job to Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt.
That's a very important interruption because that's, good job, dude. I still remember when my mom, a Penguins fan, would like whenever he got drafted, my mom would be like, the Penguins just drafted this nice new boy, like, back in 2000, and here we are, he's got 500 goals. And I guarantee when I get done here and go look at my phone, I'm probably going to have a text from my mom being like, Sid number 500, exclamation emoji.
Nice boy.
Yeah. So I think that's delightful. We've got other delightful stuff here on this show, on this network, and coming at you all week long. Jess, where can people find you and your delightful Calgary Flames / Dodger Toffoli content?
So you can follow me on Twitter at Jess Belmosto. If you are watching on YouTube, it's right on the screen. And you can get the audio version of my propaganda on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you get your Locked On NHL show. And of course, I'm on YouTube as well under Locked On Flames.
All right. And I'm on Twitter at Right Said Sarah. Locked On Kings is available at Locked On LA Kings on Twitter. Also, again, wherever you get your podcasts, on the YouTubes and all of that great stuff. So come and say hi. Tweet us your dog pictures, your cat pictures, your iguana pictures, I guess. Like, what, did you put a hat on it? Because that'd be cool. Do you have a horse? I love horses. Send me a horse picture. It's cool. That's what we're here for. We're also, of course, here for all of your Western Conference news here on Locked On NHL. We're here every Wednesday. Of course, there is other stuff going on all week long on this show, including, once again, our special Olympic bonus episodes. So keep your ears and or eyes open for all of that here on Locked On NHL, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.